I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have the consent agenda later on. Anybody have anything they'd like to have removed or changed for the consent agenda?
I do not.
Steve, anything? Moving on to special activities. We have the public hearing with resolution 5318, resolution to adopt Clear Creek Township discharge detection, elimination, regulations, erosion prevention, and so on and so forth. I'd like to entertain a motion to recess the regular meeting and move into a public hearing.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Mearsfall?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. Jeffrey?
Yeah, just, long story short, in order for us to have, the county be our agent, excuse me, all right, start again. In order for our county to be our agent, for this process, we have to also adopt the rules. So formality requires us to do this in 2 readings. This is the first reading. I can give you more information, but that is the reason for us being here this evening and the purpose for the action.
Okay, so we really just need a motion to accept the resolution, and we need a second reading next meeting.
Yeah, and if anybody has any comments on the public hearing, then you close the public hearing. You'll have a second public hearing on the 27th.
Right.
And then you'll vote on it at next time. And just for the record, so Mr. Corliss has it in the minutes, statute requires, Ohio Revised Code 504.21B, that we have legal ads a certain number of days before each hearing. First legal ad was placed 8/26, so we could have the public hearing today in accordance with the timing of the statute. Second legal ad was run on September the 2nd, in time for the September 27th second hearing, and in which case you will then vote at your pleasure to pass it, and it will then be effective 40 days hence, because, or sorry, 30 days hence, because you can't pass this as an emergency under the statute.
Okay. Does anybody have any comments in the public hearing about this issue? Okay, is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsfall?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. And is there a motion to accept resolution 5318?
So moved. Second.
Mr. Mearsfall?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay.
So you now have the first reading, the first part of that hearing done. You'll finish the second part at your next meeting, and then we'll vote then. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Fiscal business. Russell?
Yes, sir, it's the continuation of the dance. It's the last one before the budget resolution. This is the one where we accept the rates from the county. We had the budget meeting with the county. They're collecting in excess of 99% of all property taxes. They're at 99.6% collection, so they do a really good job of getting the money in, and they're projecting an increase of about $200,000 next year in the general fund. So, of course, we'll be using some of that to do some roads and some other things in the budget, but I want to let you know that things are looking good in that respect.
Good.
And this resolution is a formality that we have to do that accepts those rates and allows the county to go ahead and certify these tax levies. So this resolution is here for your action tonight.
Okay. Let me ask a question about the number. We went from 5318 to 5325.
Yeah, 5318 was actually prepared for the last meeting, but due to the public hearing notification, it had to be pulled, so it is out of order. We are back in order with those things.
Okay. All right. Anybody have any questions about 5325? Something we do every year.
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve 5325?
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsfall?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah.
And that is it, sir.
Okay, good deal. All right, I see we have a guest in the audience. It's time for public comments. Pete, you want to make any comments?
I sure do. What do you intend to do about that?
Come up to the microphone and give us your name and your address, please.
what you fellows intend to do about the water situation down there. I got run out of here the last time,
Yep,
so I'm back here to see you again.
okay.
Has there been any changes made?
You know what? I don't know, Matt was gonna look into some stuff, but I don't know what he did. He's home with the COVID. And I don't know.
I got a lawyer on it,
Good.
and it's trespassing and nuisance.
Okay. We'll have your lawyer contact our attorney, and I think that's the way to go.
Like I say,
That's good.
it wasn't supposed to cost me nothing to start with,
Well, now it's been.
but it's costing me now.
Well, that's okay. That's the way it should, that's the way it should go. That's the way the process is.
But the water situation is still the same, but they just redone the pond down there. I don't know just what that'll end up being. And they're starting up here, which is going down more water down on me down there. And they opened up the ditch line in the property lot on the other corner from me there. Got everything dumping in on me. There's a 30-foot easement on that lot there, which was not cut. And the engineer, we had county engineer, he was on it, and he said per Abernathy. But Abernathy can't do no more than I can do.
Can't argue.
Mr. Abernathy done what he did, but you fellows, the township trustees, you fellows were in control. You let it happen. And I've lived with it all these years.
I know you have.
You've taken really a third or better of my life. And I can't even get in with my riding mower to cut that part of the lot. It's grown up, it's a swamp.
Well, Pete, we need to get your attorney to contact our attorney.
He's already did it. What he
He
sent
has not
me,
contacted our attorney.
well, I don't know the attorney, all I know.
That's our attorney right there.
Well, that may be the attorney right there, but what he sent the attorney, he was to send it to
Did
me.
you bring a copy
As well.
of it?
I got it right here.
Good. Can we make a copy of that?
Well, if you wish.
That would be a great thing, actually.
Let's make sure that's not attorney-client privilege information before we copy it, meaning between Mr. Driscoll and his attorney. Because I'm sure he didn't send anything to me, because I haven't received anything.
I dropped the attorney myself.
That's
But
not
the
what I...
reason I dropped him
Attorney's trying to protect
was
you.
due to the cost, and it's supposed to have been passed on to the township,
Well,
and
doesn't matter.
whatever.
let's see what you got there.
So is that something you're confident of?
That's,
Nope.
nope.
Well, you
Okay.
said no,
So that's just
why
a private
That's,
letter.
It's private to you,
your
sir.
attorney-client privilege bill, which I'm not, wanna see, don't wanna see, and the trustees don't wanna see that either, so that's
So
not,
that's just a bill?
that's a bill, which,
I got the bill, that's right.
That is the bill.
He told me what the bill was for. He
anyway.
sent you the same bill, or you fellows, or the county, whichever, sent
That's a
the
pretty
same
big,
bill was
that's a
sent.
pretty big distinction.
Right.
That we're not all the same government.
Well, it's proven that.
You're right.
Because Mr. Petty met with Mr. Wade and Clark. He thought he had things going,
Who did you say?
but neither one of you trustees was here other than Ed. Well, what happened? It went through the winter, nothing happened. Next year, the following year, nothing had happened, so I called her. He said, well, the township backed down, they didn't want to spend the money. Well, that's normal. I mean, who does want to spend the money? As long as somebody else pick up the tab of them, take it and go with it. So,
Pete?
you said, you
Pete,
fellas,
it's-
what the message come to me was,
It's-
you fellas dropped it, but you fellas
That
told me
message was
they
not-
dropped it.
That message was not accurate. We don't have the ability to drop anything, and we also, that's the county engineer who was supposed to be heading that project up now. If he dropped it, he dropped it, but it's not.
Well, the county engineer hadn't dropped it yet, as far as I know. I was just talking to him Thursday.
Oh.
I even invited him
Well, that's good. If he's still working on it, that's a good thing.
Well, yeah, but really this is over on me. He's the county engineer. Your brother's township engineer.
Yeah, but we
And the
don't
trustee.
we don't do that, Pete.
Huh?
That's not what we do.
We don't do
Well, I
that.
don't know what you do, don't seem like you do anything.
We don't.
I see you haven't got much attention.
We
Appreciate
don't, we don't.
Where's the crowd at? Nobody knows nothing about the meeting evidently.
It's put on.
It's the same time every month, twice.
Huh?
It's the same, every month we have 2 meetings, same time.
I've got a copy of it. That's the reason I'm here
You
today.
know.
I wanted to know.
Anyway, Pete, we can ask, when Mr. Clark gets back, we'll ask him what his conversation's been with the county engineer's office. And we'll respond to you based on what I find out from him.
Well, Mr. Petty was gonna send you fellows a message. That was Friday, probably said either Thursday evening or Friday.
Now, where's he from?
Petty?
Petty.
Evidently you don't know him, you had a meeting with him. He's a county engineer.
He's one of them.
He's one of them, okay.
Yeah.
Is that who we met with out there when I was down there with you?
Well,
Is that who was down there when Mr. Clark and I were down there? Was that Petty?
no,
No, that
that
was-
was Petty.
And we
That
met
Petty
with
and
Neil.
his boss, I guess.
We met with Neil.
Neil, yeah, there you go. Neil, Petty, and you. They were there.
I don't remember Mr. Petty being there, but I'm not saying he wasn't. I just remember talking to Neil about it.
Well, he was there, Mr. Neil was.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
Okay. So,
that's where it was at. I've been fighting this now, how many years?
oh, a long time. I know.
Too long.
It's the truth, yeah.
And just like when you put this up there, you put all the asphalt down, the building in there, get all that done, the roof and everything, where's the water going? It's gonna come down and visit me one,
That's going to the retention pond.
in a retention pond, yeah. Yeah, I heard the guy that's just working in this pond, I heard that, he said something about 15 feet deep. I never heard of a farm pond, I've been told it's a farm pond. Till he bought the lot and told me what he got on it. 15 feet deep. Farm pond, well, how deep is a farm pond?
Mine's-
No more than 6 feet, or,
No, I just had mine redone and it's 14.
well, I don't know, I'm not in that business, I cannot argue that. But I'm sure there's a code to go by on a farm pond.
Well,
So I don't know.
farm pond and retention pond are 2 different things, too.
Huh?
They could be the same, but they may not.
Well, that's the guy.
Anyway,
I've
so
always
all I
been
can
told-
do, Pete, is tell you that we've got the rest of the meeting, you're welcome to stay for. We'll talk to Matt when he gets back from the COVID, our administrator, find out what kind of conversation he's had with Neil Tunison and people from the engineer's office. And, we'll have Matt contact you.
All right,
Let you know the
I
latest.
appreciate that.
We'll let you know the latest.
I sure appreciate that.
Okay.
But I need to know where we're at on this thing.
Yeah.
The way that, was cut through there, the easement, it was all on me. Abernathy owned all these lots from there this way.
Oh, yeah, no, we know.
Well, he saved his lot, cutting it around, zigzagging it, and I feel, I'm looking at it in my eyes, and the way it looks to me, and I'm sure anybody can see it, they zigzagged it, stopped the pressure, the
Slow down.
force.
Slow
With
down.
the force, it might have went over Bonnell Hill, which it did, a couple of years ago. It went over Bonnell, I got pictures of it.
Yeah, no, I know.
And what did they do? You put a skin coat of blacktop. You did blacktop it down through there. And you've done a little grinding in that intersection right there.
Okay.
But you stopped at Lower Springville Road too.
Well, all we can do, Pete, again, is wait until Matt gets back and let's see what kind of conversation he's get. He'll be out I don't know, he's on at least 10 days quarantine, and that was starting as of, Sunday, I believe.
The other week.
Well, his wife got it though, too.
Yeah, send it back.
Well, he's gonna send it to Matt, I think.
All right, we'll see, we'll have Matt, we'll talk to Matt, and, we'll get back to you.
I sure
It'll be-
appreciate it.
Then we'll do that as soon as he gets back.
As soon as he gets back,
When he
I
gets
sure
back, we'll get
appreciate
in
it.
touch with him.
Because his tire history's destroying me down there. I mean, there's no doubt about it. And just like the letter says, it's a nuisance. He may not want a copy of it, but the letter speaks for itself, and it's a lawyer's letter, and either you guys got it, Matt got it, somebody got it, because there's more, I called you to start with,
Yeah.
and you're the one got a hold of it
Engineer.
from the Lebanon,
I did.
and you brought him
That was
in.
a couple of years ago, or 3,
Oh,
4.
yeah, well, that's been 5 or
I
6
know,
years
it's been
ago.
a long time, Pete, I
And
know.
I've thought that ever since,
I know.
but
Well,
nothing has
as soon as Matt
been
gets
done.
back, as soon as Matt gets back, we'll, see what he knows, because I don't know, I have not talked to him about it, but I feel sure he's had some conversation now. We'll see.
But,
We'll get
okay,
on to-
I appreciate it,
Okay.
appreciate the help that I can get. Well,
Okay.
I certainly, it's taken part of my life.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the homeowners, they supposed to cut Long Bottom Hill there, all entrances to the subdivision. But it's still my ground, and the one this side of it, hey, I can't even get out, I used to cut that with a riding mower. I can't get it, I get in there with a riding mower now, I have to pull it out with something beside me. Yeah.
I know.
So, anyway.
Okay. All right, thanks, Pete.
Okay,
Okay, moving on to new business.
all right,
All right, see you later, Pete.
but I see this guy, he's not interested in the letter, so
Well, no,
Matt,
we can't look at that.
the,
Well, somebody's probably got a copy that.
I was going to tell you, they got a copy, but I don't think my lawyer would have sent it out. He got $335 out
I
of
don't think
me.
he sent it to this office, but.
He didn't send it to
I sent it, no, he sent it
To the county.
here, I think, or township, well, they know about it.
Okay.
Somebody,
All
either
right.
here or down there, knows about it.
We'll check that out too.
Okay, well,
All right,
appreciate
we'll
it.
look for it.
You guys have a good day.
Okay. you too,
Appreciate
Pete.
any help you can get.
All right, thanks. Under administration, item number 1, administrative recommendation to approve independent testing and inspection service agreement with Holt and Witsy for oversight and testing work to be performed on the facilities project at an estimated cost of $38,800.
Yeah, it's the oversight group. I'm not sure why we're doing this as a recommendation instead of a resolution, but maybe Brian can provide insight if that was necessary to do differently. But that is the request before you, but we're now moving forward with the next couple of resolutions to actually have the work performed. This is an oversight group to make sure that it's done correctly.
Because it's a big amount.
Oh.
I mean, why? I don't know that,
Yeah,
but I
thank
believe
you.
that's why.
Pitch in from Matt, so I'm not
Okay.
sure why some things are the way they are.
Yep. Nope, fair point.
Okay, should we, is it okay to?
Just
can I
make
have
a motion, yes.
To direct, Matt to enter into this agreement.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. Then we have resolution 5326, a resolution authorizing township administrator to select the lowest and best bid for metal systems from American Steel. And for all the other things and that's for dispensing with the second reading and declaring an emergency. The motion to approve 5326.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay.
Yay. Yay. Mosquito.
And we have 5327, also authorizing the township administrator to select the lowest and best bid for concrete work from Signature Concrete at $521,015. Lowest and best bid, dispensing with the second reading and declaring an emergency. The motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw? Yay. Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. 5328, a resolution authorizing the township administrator to select the lowest and best bid for Dills Dirt Works and Demolition LLC for an amount of $43,200, and that's for the septic system at the police station. And need a motion to approve and dispense with the second reading and declaring an emergency.
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay.
Mr. Wade, can I interject some? So those three resolutions were all based on the recommendation of just to help Mr. Palmer out, probably needed, but of your construction manager at risk. So they made those recommendations for you. It's one of the reasons you hired them as a CMR to go through that. The statute allows you to do that, so that's why we've done that. The other thing is part of the septic system in Resolution 5328, there's purported to be an agreement with SCS engineers, and all Mr. Clark wanted me to do, so we been texting back and forth about it, was they have a purported contract that would include payment of attorney's fees if SCS was forced to collect against us, and I'm not a big fan of those provisions, so Mr. Clark said just get a motion authorizing us to approve the agreement without that clause. So if you would just make a motion to approve the SCS agreement without the clause, that would be what I need.
All right. Is there a motion to approve is this resolution 5328?
It's part of that process.
Okay.
So the SCS, capital S, capital C, capital S engineers.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the STS recommendations?
With the caveat on paragraph, with related to the attorney fee provision, yes.
Relate that we will not be including the attorney restoration fees.
There you go.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Thank you.
Mr. Wade, I have a question on 5326. It appears that we have an amended quote that's $466,505. It was sent to us on August 30th. That is a revision from the original, which is 416. Am I missing something?
Okay. I looked at that. That was,
I looked at it and forgot to mention it when we...
it's above what the revision is now by a few dollars. I thought that would make it, as long as it was more than what the revised amount was, I thought it was okay. It was,
Well, our 416 is,
416 is 50,000 less.
yeah.
What we just approved is 50,000 less. That's my point.
Well, and I think that's a good point.
Steel's not going down. I know that. I just bought a plate for my kitchen. It cost me more than my countertop did.
Also,
It's George Steel Fabricating. It's
Yes.
also, I'm wondering if we bought the raw material and then the revision of the quote is George adding fabrication. It would appear that that's the case. Furnish and install structural steel, bar joist, metal deck, miscellaneous metals per attached scope. Tax exempt, prevailing wage, material and erection included.
Bear
well,
with me.
the American steel, which we just voted on, is a signature.
You know what, yeah, it says quotation revised.
It's 416. But George Steel is not American, it's two different.
So I think, Mr. Gabbard, I think I figured it out. There's a revised quote that's after this August 31st, it's for the 416 amount. So the most updated amount is the 416. There is a revised.
By one day,
Yeah.
okay.
They probably matched the price.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know.
Well, we approved American Steel.
Yeah.
We approved this.
So we approved that, which
Here,
appears.
this one shouldn't even be in there.
I would-
465,
Right.
66, okay.
So we're the legislation,
Making sure
but I
we're good.
appreciate the question.
question.
Yeah, it looks like they've got all the bids in packet.
I think
They've got Wernicke
they did online.
Steel too in there maybe. And then
Okay, yeah,
Thomas
Wernicke.
Steel.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
think they've included just all the bids.
Okay, it was highlighted as a
No,
revised
that's good.
quotation, and it kind of threw a flag up for me,
Well, it was revised, and then the August 31st is revised even after that.
which is American, that's not the same company. You may have a revised American as well.
Yeah.
They're not the same company.
You're right, but the
Then
one
Thomas, okay.
the one we're approving though is.
416.
It is, yeah.
Gotcha, just making sure.
Yep.
No, that's a good question. Make sure we're all.
Yeah, there's black
Clear on
swan,
that, speak up.
blew over that one.
Any opposed? Okay, I think we're ready for planning and zoning. Anything else under administrative and business?
Nothing to wear, sir.
Now we're in your wheelhouse.
Change your hat, Joe.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're gonna do some
Wait,
nuisances.
You're
yeah.
busy.
Hunters Crossing and Clear Creek Reserve subdivision are two subdivisions, but they're connected by a street. So within those two subdivisions, there's a total of 11 lots that have vegetation that vary from just being over the 8 inches to being over top of my head in height.
And it's quite a plethora of.
Yeah, there's a range in there, so it's time to get it all back to a standard.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, anybody have any questions for Jeff of 5329? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve 5329?
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay?
Mr. Beardsley?
Yay.
Mr. Wood?
Yeah. Jeff, do you have anything else?
Nothing this time, sir. Thank you.
Very good. Fire district, we have a recommendation to purchase hydraulic tools for the engine and plant at a cost of $23,030.
Yeah, this is a budgeted item, but the hydraulic rescue tools for the truck.
So motion to purchase this equipment for fire district.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wood?
Okay. And there's also a recommendation to expend the 2021 load funds for the purchase of the first half of Knox box security devices for all the engines and equipment.
So the Knox box are the keys we have in at the apparatus to access the building. They have a safe in the wall, we get in the safe, and they have the keys in there to do their building. So we're going to be updating that to a better piece of technology. So if we would lose one of our Knox keys, then all the buildings are keyed the same. So now there'll be electronic and digital. If you would lose one, then you could just wipe it, recalibrate all the others. And this will be a multi-year project, because this is the first phase of that to get all of our emergency apparatus.
Is there a motion to approve the expending of the load funds?
So moved. Oh, I'm sorry.
Mr. Gabbard is the move, and Mr. Mearsclaw is the second. Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wood?
Yay.
If you got any left over, we'll be happy to use that on the back door here. Because someday Matt's gonna walk in, that door's gonna be off the hinges. He's gonna wonder what happened.
Now he'll know.
The outline of my body going through the door should probably be the capper for him. We signed that on the front, Brian, I think that was the front.
Yep. We also have a motion to direct the chief to apply for more low grade funds for
Next year,
2022.
yeah.
2022.
So with that, we're going to complete this Knox box program. The second half will be staff cars and other ancillary vehicles. And then the other thing we're going to be looking at is getting some ventilators for our medic units we discovered through COVID. Everything's done manually, it puts a lot of parts in there. They actually make ventilators like you see in the hospital that you can put in. It's a little safer and more efficient.
The motion to direct the chief to apply.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. Also saw Matt's note that you received from the doctor that you transported. That was very nice of you.
Yeah, well, he was very kind and very, very impressed with our cruise performance. He went on and on. And
He did. It was very nice.
did you guys see my email about the Wright House?
We did not get that.
Yeah, I did.
You didn't get it?
I haven't gotten it yet. I mean, I didn't get invited to the golf outing either, so there's some stuff.
I can certainly
I got
look
called
in
from the city about it.
I got something from Steve Shabbat about raising money, but nothing for,
Yeah.
But there was a fire at the Wright House last night. We pretty significant damage to the back where the RV was parked in the garage, but we kept it out of the house completely. Still some smoke and a little bit of damage, but very minimal to the home. So they had some cars and things in the garage that suffered quite a bit of
I
damage.
think it came from a car or something.
Well, there was a lot of stuff in the back. The RV was plugged in, and there was some cars parked in the garage. So there's a number of different ignition sources in that area. So we'll work with the insurance companies and the investigation to see who's going to be held responsible and who needs to subrogate.
how did they even get an RV back?
Very carefully.
When you said that, I was like,
It's a good size one, yeah, it's parked, if they go up the driveway and make a left, and park it along the back there. Yeah, it's pretty fine. There's a lot more stuff back there than I had realized, so.
Wow.
Because they run back there and they have to go between the garage and the house, there's some freestanding garage back there.
Yeah, I knew that.
For a good storage building.
I just assumed they just backed it up to,
I don't know.
it's a sharp turn twice.
Okay, anything else, Chief? This time, Police Department, we have a recommendation to make application to Lowe's for 2022.
Yeah, with the new police building being built and the after COVID prices rising, the cost of that, we're trying to pull out things from the total budget of that and find other funding sources to try to offset some of that, to cut some of the new building costs down. So we wanted to ask Lowe this year to help fund the exercise equipment room. Several tens of thousands of dollars. I don't know the total cost yet. I've got a couple companies working on that. But thought we would tap Lowe this year for trying to help offset some of those costs. And then also police chief and I and some of our staff are looking at some other granting opportunities out there so we can come up with anything else to help offset some of our costs that are currently going in with his builds that he's planning on trying to get there. So just trying to find ways to cut some of the costs and pull that out of the bill to lower some of those costs up there. And Lowe is a good opportunity to go chase that for this. So I would ask the board to allow us to do that.
A motion to direct the chief to apply for the loan grant for 2022.
So moved.
Second. Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw? Yay. Mr.
Okay. Anything else, Chief, at this time?
No.
And, Ryan, we didn't even ask you, did we, Joe?
We started hauling dirt, as you can see.
Yeah.
We hauled dirt 2 days. Today we put 50 truckloads on North Red Line, 5 Points Hill, where it dropped off. We got that all graded out.
Deal.
So we're gonna be hauling dirt for a couple of weeks. And we are down to less than 10 ditches, so the track hoe is really making its use.
That's great.
We moved almost 500 tons of dirt today, is what I figured up.
Good deal.
So,
I've got a lot of dirt at the park too.
yeah, that was just Friday that we hauled out for the park. We had to put that pipe, we put pipe in on the north end of the property to get to the dirt pile Friday morning.
I saw that.
That was like a spur of the moment deal, because we were lined up, we were in line, have you been up and seen it?
Yeah.
We got in line with them, I'm like, that ain't gonna work, so we went back and I called Jason to make sure I could put a pipe in, we dropped the pipe in for temporary construction, but
Yeah, I just drove up there the night before it came in.
pretty
I
impressive.
saw that, I figured that's what that was.
This is that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, right here.
Oh, I understand.
North
Yeah,
end of the
it's
property.
North end of the tree line.
Okay.
They put culvert pipe and gravel over it, so they can get in and out, not having to wait on their bike.
Yeah.
Well, we were jamming them up, and it wasn't working for us. It's not efficient, we're not gonna do it.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna move a bunch of dirt out to the park, and we'll still leave a little bit up there, half and half, whatever works out.
What's your thoughts on the intersection, the roundabout? Are they closed?
They were paving it today. So, I don't know if they're paving the whole thing, but they're paving the road on Red Line 5 Points where it comes into Bunnell. They had to move it.
Yeah, I saw Neil Saturday, he said they're closed for a couple weeks.
That'd be good.
It'll move traffic. It'll really move the traffic.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah, when people get used to using it,
Yeah.
the challenge is that you all look right.
Right.
And you don't need to look right, but you need to look like that, just keep going. I lived in Indianapolis at one point, and the north side of Indianapolis is all roundabouts.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, there are no lights, and once you figure it out, it moves a lot of vehicles.
I just watched one down there at 122. I mean,
Yeah.
That's awesome.
it moves a lot.
Yep.
Chief will be busy, guys will be busy for a little bit,
Yeah.
that'd be frank.
Right.
All the cars out there.
It'll be fender benders.
Yeah. You'll be busy too, Ed.
Right.
Sorry, buddy.
Mostly worried about the school buses.
No, and that too, yeah.
I'm gonna crush people in the curve.
That's
That circle.
that's gonna be
I
a
hope that they're good.
time of day I still avoid that area.
Oh, that's right.
So the roundabout's supposed to be done at the end of the month.
Yeah.
last I heard.
So I thought they might be even ahead of that, so sounds like they may be.
They got our bridge done ahead of time, so.
Yeah. Nice, too.
It is, very nice. I don't shake my hands when I go over it.
Oh, that's right. Don't feel like.
I went down there and went under it, I said, don't slow down, keep driving.
Yeah. Going to get a little quicker before you get to the bridge.
And when you get to the top of the hill at night, it's the reflectors, it lights it up too. So, almost as much as Chief Terrell's speed sign with the new flashing red and blue light on it.
Nice.
We'll talk about that later.
Next item, we do have the consent agenda. Anybody have any comments about the consent agenda? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Second?
Mr. Mearsclaw? Yay. Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wood?
Any staff updates tonight?
You did agree, didn't you?
Oh, yes, yay. Any staff updates?
We had a quorum, it was fine.
I was thinking about Pete again.
Sorry. Go red.
Oh, gosh.
We're not here because of that.
Okay, no staff updates, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw? Yay. Mr. Wood?